It feels so good to be back on camera. I missed it so much. Hey guys, I hope you're having a great day today. As you can see, I got a new camera and it looks so beautiful. I'm sorry that I haven't been on camera. It feels so good to be back on camera now. I wanted to get a new camera really bad, and I finally did it. I bought a Sony a7 IV, I think, and I love it so much. We are so back, everybody. We're rating Am I the A-hole today, and it's going to be so fun. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like and subscribe if you want to. And let's get into post number 1 that says, Am I the A-hole? My wife became emotionally abusive since giving birth. She topped it off by cheating, and now she's begging me to reconsider. As always, I will have the chapters down below if you did want to skip any of these. I'm assuming this one isn't too bad. I haven't read it yet. I, 28 male, have been married to my wife, 27 female, for 2 years and together for 4. 14 months ago, we had our first baby. She hasn't gone back to work and I've been the sole breadwinner, her choice. And since she gave birth, my wife became a nightmare to deal with. She became irritable, angry at me for the smallest reasons, complains about everything, everything's somehow my fault. All she does is hold the baby all day, even if he didn't need to be held, and scroll on her phone. Everything else is my responsibility. We haven't had sex for over a year and a half, and whenever I try to address it, she lashes out at me. Because even though I'm the only one who works and I do all the housework, yet I'm insensitive and I don't care about her. I haven't brought up horizontal mumbo until 3 months postpartum. I was basically her emotional punching bag. I tried to get her to therapy, I tried to address her behavior, but all I got is more verbal abuse. I hated our marriage, I wanted to end it, but I was so scared of the idea of co-parenting. I was scared of the social backlash of ending a marriage with a child involved. And also, a small part of me was hoping that somehow things will get better. Well, last month she made it a whole lot easier to end it. She told me that she was going to a bar with her friends. She came back home at 4 a.m. drunk. As soon as she slept, I snooped on her phone, and I found texts between her and a random guy implying that she went to a hotel room with him. I was nearly relieved when I saw them. I can finally walk away from this miserable marriage without any guilt or regret. The first thing I did was take a DNA test for our baby. He is mine. As soon as the results came back, I informed my wife that I'm aware of her infidelity and our marriage is over. She broke down crying and she begged me for my forgiveness. She tried to use every excuse in the book: postpartum depression, past trauma, alcohol. She promised to make it up to me. She said that she would do whatever I want, said that she doesn't want our family to break, but I wasn't having any of it. I've already hated this marriage and the infidelity was just the nail in the coffin. We still live together and she's been begging me to reconsider, promising me everything under the sun, but I have no intention to reconsider, and I told her that she's not allowed to speak to me anymore. Am I the a-hole? Yeah, like this comment says, your wife's an a-hole for cheating and for claiming her medical condition made her cheat. Yeah, once again, a cheater that doesn't have any accountability for their actions. Like, oh my god, what are you talking about? I slipped and fell. I have a long list of excuses as to why it's not my fault. Yeah, like the top comment says, postpartum is addressed by therapy, not with adultery. I'd honestly start separation proceedings. Just make sure that you kept screenshots of her texts. Yeah, like as much as cheaters wish there was an excuse for cheating, there's never an excuse for cheating. The comment below that one says, first I thought she was going through a hard postpartum depression, but then you mentioned the cheating. Hell no, not the a-hole. Like this comment says, not the a-hole. Bro, she treated you like garbage for over a year and then cheated. You don't owe her anything. Yeah, pretty much. Was being awful to OP for ages. Everything was OP's fault. OP was getting lashed out at all the time. And then to top it off, they're cheating. Yeah, goodbye. OP's got a comment that says, I already have the screenshots. Cheating after denying me sex for over a year and a half and lashing out at me for even trying to address it is straight up vile. She couldn't care less about me when she did it. There's no coming back no matter what she does. The comment below that one says, tell her family and yours what she did. Close friends also. She'll tell them lies. That you cheated, that you were abusive. Get ahead of her setting opinions against you. Yeah, very much a not the a-hole consensus here, of course. Yeah, my bad for starting the video with sort of a sad one. Post number 2 that we're going to read is called, Am I the a-hole for not allowing my son to go to his paternal grandparents' anniversary barbecue because his father's stepchildren will be there? I, 33 female, have a 7-year-old son with my ex, 35 male. Almost a year ago, I was given full custody of our son, and my ex was awarded supervised visitation. The reason for this was the abuse our son was suffering at the hands of his father's stepchildren, 12 and 13. This was a very difficult battle to win. It started 3 years ago when my son came home from his father's house and my ex announced that he'd gotten remarried over the weekend, and he wanted me to pay half towards the clothes that he bought our son for the wedding because they got ruined. Of course, I didn't pay half, but I did ask why he expected me to pay and why the clothes were ruined. He said that he felt like we should split the cost of big items like that. Then he refused to answer how they got ruined. Later that evening when I was bathing my son, I noticed some bruises on him. and it made me suspicious. He mentioned that his arms hurt and that the big kids had done it. Oh no. A few weeks later, my ex called me and asked me to come and calm our son down. He said our son was hysterical and he'd been unable to calm him. When I got to his house, our son was still crying and wanted to come home with me. My ex's wife said that one of her kids had accidentally stepped on my son's foot and my son got scared. But I could hear one of her kids in the background calling my son names and saying they wanted to shut him up. Over time, things got worse. There were more bruises and more days where my son would get very upset at his dad's house. I spoke to my ex who said that his stepkids were taking it bad that their mum had remarried and that they'd lost their dad only 4 years prior and it was difficult for them. He said that he and our son weren't their favourite people, but he said that it wasn't a big deal. What? I decided to document these incidents and injuries anyway because it appeared to me that my ex was not concerned and our son could be at risk in his home. Oh, this is terrible. The dads are letting it happen. As my son got bigger, he'd verbalize more and more about what was going on. The stepkids treated him like crap and were not embarrassed or ashamed to be rough with him. He'd get pushed and grabbed and a lot of these accidents were happening. I put in a few calls to CPS and they started to offer resources. It pissed off my ex, but I was worried for my son. The verbal incidents weren't on CPS's radar really, but the physical stuff they also documented, and some of my ex's family had witnessed things, and a few even sent me rundowns about what happened. The incident that brought us to getting full custody was my ex and his wife leaving the 3 kids home alone for hours together, and the stepkids dragged my son out of the house and locked him in the garage, where all the dangerous tools were held. Oh god, this is awful. I feel so bad for them. My ex tried to fight for his right to retain custody, but CPS and the judge agreed that it was not safe for our son. The reason that he only gets supervised visits is that his stepkids are not allowed around my son. My ex's parents are celebrating their wedding anniversary next month, and they want my son there, but my ex and his family are invited and will be attending. I told them I could not let them do something with him another time, and if the stepkids are there, then my son won't be. They, along with my ex's older brother, feel like I'm being Well, who cares what they think? Your son cannot be around them. End of story. They, along with my ex's older brother, feel like I'm being unfair. You're not being unfair, you're protecting your son. The other two here definitely didn't do anything, and they say that I'm being unfair and too strict and not trusting them to keep my son safe. But he wasn't in the past. I know that for a fact. Am I the a-hole? This one's not even a question. Yet this comment, nobody kept your son safe. You'd be so irresponsible to let him go. They're embarrassed because people will question his absence and find out what a crap father their son is. Yeah, that is so infuriating. They just let it happen. The top comment says, I'd be honest and tell them, no, I don't trust you to keep him safe. You didn't in the past. And per CPS, those kids are not allowed around my kid. Yeah, end of story. It's not even a discussion. Oh, you don't trust us to keep your son safe? No, I don't. Is there something that you're missing? Wow, this one is so aggravating. The comment below that one said, you're asking permission to enforce a court order that you fought tooth and nail to get, and which, if you did not enforce it, could get your son taken away from you. I want you to think about that for a minute. The comment below that says, no, don't let your son near these people. His father never protected him. I hope you have your son in therapy, not the a-hole. Them saying that you're being unfair and saying, oh, don't you trust us to keep your son safe? How they feel about this does not matter. I'm so happy that you are protecting your son now, OP. But no, you're not the a-hole for not allowing your son to go. You're not allowed to let your son go. Like that comment said, if you let your son go and then something happened to your son could be taken away from you. You're not allowed to. So yeah, keep doing what you're doing, OP. Keep protecting him. Yeah, like this comment says, you'd be violating a court order. If you do and something really terrible happens, it'll be your fault. And a court would not be so open to hearing your concerns about your son's safety next time. Not the a-hole. OP does have a comment that says, that's not what I'm saying at all. They're responding to another comment. No part of me is okay with him being abused. It's why I fought as hard as I did. It's why I kept on documenting and calling CPS and taking it serious. But I know that my son has lost a lot in the process. And I have asked myself if I could do more to keep him connected to that side, or if I should. I know that he'll remember the abuse and it will carry with him. I have him in therapy and I'm making sure that he always has a safe place to land with me and with the therapist. He's my first priority, but that comes in every form. Yeah, okay, what a start to the episode. I hope you guys are having a good time today. It's been a very heavy start to the episode. I should probably read the post beforehand, but I don't like to do that. I like to read them for the first time with you guys. I can have a more authentic reaction. Okay, I think I found one that doesn't sound too serious. Am I the a-hole for refusing to give my co-worker a ride after she kept on making fun of my car? So I, 34 male, have this older car. Nothing fancy, but it runs fine and gets me where I need to go. I take care of it, I do regular maintenance, and to be honest, I don't see the point in spending money on a new car when this one works fine. The only thing is it's a little well loved. Some faded paint, a few scratches, but nothing major. Enter my co-worker Liana. Hold on a second, Google. How do I pronounce you? Okay, so Google says Liana. Enter the co-worker, Liana, 28, female. She's made little comments here and there about my car, calling it vintage in a way that doesn't sound like a compliment, joking that it looks like it belongs in a junkyard, and once even asking if I was saving up for a real car. Oh my god, that's so rude. And Liana wants you to drive them around? The audacity of that is so funny. Like, oh my god, your car belongs in a junkyard. When are you gonna buy a real car? Hey, would you mind giving me a ride home? Last week she had car trouble and asked around the office if anybody could give her a ride home. I was literally the only one going in her direction, so she asked me. I just shrugged and said sorry, but I wouldn't want to subject her to my embarrassing junkyard car. She got all flustered and said that she was joking before, and she didn't actually think my car was that bad. I just said, nah, I'd hate to ruin your reputation by having you seen in it. She ended up getting an Uber, and later a mutual co-worker told me that I was being petty, and I should have just let it go. But I don't know, why should I go out of my way to help somebody who constantly makes fun of something? That's literally none of her business. I'm not the a-hole here, am I? With a little frowny emoji. This comment says petty. Yeah. Warranted? Oh, absolutely. Not the gay hole. The comment below that says not the gay hole. Perhaps you learnt a lesson. The comment above that says not the gay hole. You handled it well. She had an Uber. Some people don't even have that choice. Perhaps just maybe she learnt something that will adjust her critical attitude going forward. People in Uber shouldn't throw shade. Or something like that. Yeah, like, oh, maybe I should have kept my opinions to myself. The comment below that one says, not the gay hole. People think it's funny to spew their dumb opinions, and they don't care about the consequences because there never are any. Until there are. Good, you did right by yourself. Keep doing that. Maybe she'll learn something from it. And the comment below that says, not the gay hole. Jokes that punch down aren't funny. They're bullying. And maybe now she'll learn to keep her trap shut. Yeah, I like that comment that said, petty? Yeah. Unreasonable? No. It's almost comical too though. Like, oh my god, your car is such a piece of junk. Hey, can I have a ride? Like, yeah, forget about all the stuff that I said before. Yeah, very much a not the a-hole consensus here. The next one that we're going to read says, am I the a-hole for refusing to let my mum borrow my car indefinitely? Everybody's having car trouble today. I, 25 male, bought my first car last year. Nothing fancy, but it's mine. I worked hard for it and I pay for everything. Insurance, maintenance, gas. My mum, 48 female, doesn't have a car because she doesn't like the responsibility and has always relied on borrowing from family or using public transport. So 3 days ago, my mum called. We talk pretty often. And casually mentioned, I'll need your car for a while. Wow, the audacity. I asked what she meant, and she said that she had a new job starting soon. She told me about the job before and didn't want to deal with the bus schedule. I told her I can drive you when I'm free, but I can't just give you my car. Yeah, and also the attitude that you can. Like how they said, oh yeah, I'll need your car for a while. Like, what do you mean? No, you're not having my car for a while. Like, I love how they said that so nonchalantly. Like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm gonna need your car. No, like, this is not your car. She acted all surprised, like I was being ridiculous. You don't need it all the time. I'll just use it when you're not. No. I told her, you know that I work full time. I do actually need my car every day. She then said, well, we're family. I let you live in my house for 18 years, and now I need your help. Always brings that up as if she's the only parent to ever do that. I told her that's not the same thing. I bought this car with my own money. She got mad and said that I was being selfish and disrespectful. Obviously, she instantly told everybody, so my aunt even called me saying that I should help my mum out because she sacrificed so much for me. I stood my ground and said that I won't give my car away. If she needs a ride, sometimes I can help, but she needs to figure out a real solution. Now she's barely speaking to me. Wow, who would have thought that not having a car and relying on borrowing other people's cars would ever become a problem? Like, what, you're telling me that relying on borrowing other people's cars doesn't always work? No way, the shock and the horror. The top comment says, not the gay hole. It sounds like only one of you are being an adult and the other is mooching. Lol, I always think it's funny when parents say, I took care of you for so many years. Like it's not what they're supposed to do. Like, yeah, you did because neglect can send you to jail. So congratulations. The comment below that one says, weaponizing being a parent to then emotionally manipulate your child into doing things for you is awful. It's your car. Sounds like she needs to get a bus pass to me, not the a-hole stand your ground. Yeah, like, oh, I never want to have my own car because I don't want the responsibility. So I'm gonna rely on taking other people's cars. I don't like the way that they so casually said, oh yeah, I'm gonna be taking your car. Like, excuse me, no you're not. The comment below that one says not the a-hole, but I'm confused here. Are you actually upset that your manipulative, bullying, entitled mother is barely talking to you? Frankly, I'd be relieved. And now you know which other flying monkey family members to avoid or block. Sometimes growing up requires to say no and not give in when the other person throws a tantrum like a toddler. Yeah, that's a good point too. Like, the reaction was bad. They weren't like, yeah, okay, I understand it is a pretty big ask. I know that I'm not just entitled to your car. No, they had a tantrum. Yeah, not the a-hole OP. The next one says, am I the a-hole for telling my mum that I don't owe it to her to put her first when she never put me first in 18 years? I, 18 male, have a very strained relationship with my mum, 40 female. I never knew who my dad was. She had no name for him or any idea who he really was. I did try to find him a few months ago with the help of some friends using Ancestry and 23andMe, but it brought no results for my dad. That's something that I have moved on from since I can't do anything more. But back to my mum, she was more focused on herself and finding love than being a parent. Yeah, we've definitely read about stuff like this before. In the time I lived with her, she had numerous live-in boyfriends and husbands and fiancés, and she exposed me to angry children and exes who didn't like our presence in their life. I never had a good experience with these families. Over the years, I've been punched in the face by older kids, shot with a BB gun, a dart gun, some kind of rock gun, pushed out of a tree, slapped across the face, spat on, clawed at, threatened with a knife, had a door slammed on my hand and kicked over and over again in the stomach and chest. I was also called a bastard, an R-word, a freak, and bullied by some of these kids in and out of school. Sometimes even after the relationship broke down, they'd still target me. I had some of the guys' exes call me a little crap and insist that I wasn't allowed to sit near them or their children. My mum never cared. The way I was treated was never the reason these relationships ended. Either somebody cheated or they fought a lot about horizontal mumbo or money or custody issues. Some of the guys were okay to me, others ignored me. For years I still loved my mum and often thought that she could do better. I'd be a shoulder for her to lean on after a breakup. Even if I was black and blue from the ex's kids, I'd be there for her. But time and time again she overlooked how I was treated and went ahead with what she wanted. There were times that I talked to her and she didn't even bother listening. Oh, this one's so sad. Oh, I went to stay with my best friend a few days before my 18th birthday and I just didn't go back. Then I officially changed my address after my birthday and I carried on with my life. My mum was living with her third husband at the time, but now her marriage is broken up and she wanted to move in with me. I told her she wasn't moving in and she needed to figure this stuff out on her own. She told me that's no way to speak to her. Oh, the audacity. She's my mum. When I didn't give in, she said that I owe it to her. You don't owe her nothing. Said that I owe it to her to put her first now and take care of her because she needs it. I ended the call and I texted her that I don't owe her that when she never put me first in 18 years. I went into all the reasons why she failed as a mum and why she had some real nerve asking me to take care of her and put her first. She told me that I had no idea what life was like for her and how hard being a single mum is, and being grateful to her for giving me life would be a start. Am I the a-hole? Absolutely not, and thank you for standing up for yourself. Yeah, like the top comment says, not the a-hole, that's not a mum, that's a surrogate. Let this happen to you over and over and over again, never even cared, never even listened to you, but now has the goal to be like, you owe me now? Like, you're so lucky that OP's even talking to you. Probably the next step, OP, no contact. The second top comment says, not the a-hole, your mum's behavior is unacceptable. It sounds incredibly difficult to go through all of that, especially without any support. I can't even imagine how tough that must have been for you. You deserve better. You definitely don't owe her anything. Prioritizing your own well-being is essential, especially after everything you've experienced. Yeah, for sure, that one's unbelievable. This subreddit really reminds me how garbage some people are. Yeah, the comment below that one, not the a-hole. She incubated you and then didn't do anything after that. Block her number and move on. Get a restraining order if you have to. I'm proud of you, OP, for standing up for yourself. You don't owe your mum anything. Yeah, like the top comment said, that's not a mum, that's a surrogate. She had you and then that was it. She didn't do anything after that. And she only cared about herself the entire time and still only cares about herself. Did it even say that she apologized at all? No, she didn't even apologize, did she? She threw it straight back onto OP and got defensive and said that OP had no idea what life was like for her and that being grateful to her would be a start. So didn't acknowledge any of it, didn't apologize for any of it. Yeah, that's so sad. And if your mum doesn't realize what she did was terrible and she never learns from it and she never apologizes, then that's completely on her. You don't owe her anything. The next one says, am I the gay hoe for yelling at my boyfriend because he didn't wash his hands after pooping? So this just happened and I need to know if I'm overreacting. I'm already pretty sure you're not. My 20 female boyfriend 20 male went to the bathroom and afterward he hugged me. Almost immediately I smelled something foul. No, are you joking? I asked him about it and he casually said, yeah, I didn't wash my hands, so it must be that. As in like he got poo on his hands? I was disgusted and I immediately told him that that was gross. He shrugged it off like it was no big deal. Yeah, it's a pretty big deal, dude. That's disgusting. Are you a newborn baby that needs your nappy done? Grow up. And that made me even more upset. I ended up shouting at him because seriously, who just skips washing their hands after pooping and then touches other people? Now he's mad at me for overreacting and making him feel disgusted. You should feel disgusted. Wait, before we read any more of this, you should feel disgusted because OP said they smelt something foul. As in like you got poop on your hands. OP shouldn't be able to smell anything anyway. So that tells me that he actually got poop on his hands. Like, I'm sorry that you feel disgusted in yourself because you're doing something really disgusting. He says that I'm making a big deal out of nothing and I didn't have to yell at him about it. But to be honest, I feel like it's a big deal. It's just basic hygiene. He didn't even say that he was gonna wash his hands. It almost sounds like he wasn't gonna wash his hands at all. Yeah, I didn't wash my hands, so it must be that smells foul. Yeah, the top comment, he's mad because you made him feel disgusted with himself. Yeah, he should be. That was gross. Yeah, the comment below that one, if you smelled something foul, not coming from the bathroom, that would mean that he got crap on his hands and didn't wash them, which is disgusting. And your reaction fits the crime, not the a-hole. Yeah, you shouldn't have been able to smell something foul unless he didn't wipe or something. The comment below that one says that's an unbangable man. Yeah, pretty much. There's not really much else that's a bigger turnoff. The comment below that one says, while a person should absolutely wash their hands after using the bathroom, I don't understand why you would smell something foul when he hugged you. Did he crap on his hands or something? Yeah, he either got poop on his hands or he didn't wipe. Both of which are disgusting. So yeah, of course OP said that it was disgusting. He's mad at me for overreacting and making him feel disgusted with himself. Like, hey, if you don't want to feel disgusted with yourself, then don't be disgusting. Okay, the next one says, am I the gay hoe for telling my dad that I didn't want him or the woman he replaced my mum with to pretend to honor her on the 20th anniversary of her death? My brother, 28 male, and I, 26 female, lost our mum 20 years ago. We, along with my brother's wife and my boyfriend, took the day to honor our mum. The day never passes without something from either of us, but 20 years was something that we wanted to mark with a little more. Her death is still painful for us. We did not include our dad or step family. They never joined before. Well, dad used to, but it's been 11 or more years now since he did anything to honor our mum. My dad wasn't happy when he found out that we'd done something without him, and his wife felt the same. They called my brother and me several times to complain about the secrecy and how we left him out of something important. For the last 14 years, my dad's described his wife as the love of his life. He also stated on multiple occasions that he was never as in love with anybody, and falling for her made him realize his feelings for others were never close. While he's allowed that, it stings us. The kids he had with his first wife who died, he used to say that he loved mum. He hasn't in years. He removed all traces of her eventually, and like I said, he no longer honoured her memory on her birthday or anniversary. He has also stated that he'd changed nothing about his life because it worked out just the way that it was supposed to in the end. Comments like that, and his wife comments that we spoke about our mum too much or had too many photos of her, made us distant from them. They've got 2 kids together also, and that always made things more awkward because they've commented on how unhappy my brother and I look when dad's making his comments about his wife, and they can't see it from our perspective. During one of my dad's phone calls to me where he was complaining that he said that he'd been married to my mum for 10 years and they had me and my brother together and he should be allowed to join us on such a big anniversary, it pissed me off, and I told him that I didn't want him or the woman he replaced her with to pretend that they were honouring her. I said that he hadn't honoured her in years and had made it very clear that he didn't give a damn about her anymore, with all those comments about his wife being the love of his life and how he wouldn't wish mum was alive because it made him happier long term. He told me that it was such an uncharitable outlook. Oh, take a hike, dude. He asked him to consider how the kids of his wife number 1 feel when he makes those kinds of comments. I said that he would never convince me that he didn't replace her and essentially downgrade her to a past mistake of his. He went on a rant to my brother after we spoke, and my brother told him that he felt the same. He said it was exactly how we took it. and always would. My dad and his wife are claiming that my comments were cruel and that it shows a lack of appreciation for what she did to bring him back to life after losing mum. She said that it hurt to realize that we have so little love or appreciation for her that we can't see his comments in the positive. Am I the a-hole? Yeah, the top comment, uncharitable outlook. You were far nicer than I would have been. Yeah, for sure. Oh, I've got an uncharitable outlook, do I? Get out of here, dude. The comment below that says, no, not the a-hole. Your dad and his wife want to act like your mum was just some footnote in his life, but now they're mad that they weren't included in honoring her? That's pure hypocrisy. He spent years downplaying her importance, treating your feelings like an inconvenience, and acting like your pain was something to get over. Now that it's convenient for him, he suddenly cares? Nah, you and your brother have every right to honour your mum without them. And you were right to call him out on his dismissive attitude. He made his choices and he doesn't get to guilt trip you into pretending otherwise. Yeah, 100%, and the comment below that too. Not the a-hole, like damn dude, those are inside thoughts. Not the ones that you go spraying indiscriminately to a grieving child. What did he think would happen? Yeah, so unbelievably inconsiderate. And like that comment said, they're thoughts that you keep to yourself. Yeah, you don't say them to a grieving child. Yeah, like once again, oh, my actions have consequences? Oh, okay. I understand, except they don't understand. Yeah, they made their bed and now they can lie in it, as they say. Yeah, I feel so bad for OP that this is what they've got to deal with. Okay, the next one that we're going to read says, am I the a-hole for telling my sister the truth about why I moved out so young? I, 27 female, have a younger half-sister, Emma, 17 female. We shared the same mum but different dads. My mum had me when she was really young and struggled a lot. By the time Emma was born, she was in a much more stable marriage, so Emma had a totally different upbringing than I did. I moved out at 18 and I was pretty much on my own from that point. I worked multiple jobs to pay for school and rent, while Emma has always had my mum and her dad's full support, paid extracurriculars, a car at 16, and they're even covering her college tuition. I don't resent her for it, but it does make it hard for her to understand my perspective sometimes. A few days ago, I was at my mum's house visiting, and Emma made a comment about how I chose to move out early, and how she didn't get why I wasn't around more often. She said it was like I wanted to leave and be distant. I told her that it wasn't exactly a choice, that once I turned 18, I was pretty much expected to figure things out on my own. My mum and her husband were focused on their own lives and supporting her, and I had to become independent a lot sooner. Emma got really quiet and later told my mum what I said. Now my mum's upset, saying that I made it sound like she abandoned me, when in reality she was young and struggling. She said that I should have let the past go instead of making Emma feel guilty over things that she had no control over. I wasn't trying to make Emma feel bad, just explain why our experiences were different. But now I'm wondering, am I the a-hole for saying anything at all? No, definitely not the a-hole. And no, you weren't trying to make Emma feel bad. I feel like that was pretty obvious that you weren't trying to make Emma feel bad. And also, it's not Emma's fault that Emma doesn't understand. Like, of course Emma doesn't understand. She did not experience what OP experienced. So yeah, she's not ever going to fully understand it because she didn't go through it like OP did. But it doesn't sound like you were trying to make her feel bad, OP. Like the top comment says, not the a-hole. She asked and you answered truthfully. Your mother's feelings are not your problem. Just like yours weren't hers when you were 18. Yeah, you didn't do anything wrong here, OP. The comment under that one says, that's cute. Your mother was young and struggling, so she put her child in the same position, and now she wants to lie to her other child about it. She's not sorry about how she treated you. She's upset about her reputation. Yeah, not the a-hole. Yeah, you were being honest, OP. You didn't go too far or something. You had a rough upbringing compared to Emma. It's completely fine to be honest about that. And yeah, like that comment said, the mum only cares about her reputation. Did she even apologize? I don't think so. The second top comment says, not the a-hole. You had a rough childhood, and you don't owe anybody silence about that fact. In addition, your mum was married with a husband and a child by the time you left, so no, her being young is no excuse for continuing to be a bad mother to you. By the time you left, Emma was 8 years old. Is your mum's argument that she was still a young mum then? The truth is she made no effort to be there for you, and she's still leaning on the excuses that she had when you were born. And lastly, you did nothing to make Emma feel guilty. It's just that she cares more about you and empathizes with you more than your mum ever will. Look at the evidence. Even now she's trying to protect Emma rather than addressing how she failed you. Let this woman and her opinions pass right past you. Match her energy. Yeah, the mum is majorly in the wrong here. And like that comment said, still leaning on the excuses they had when OP was born. Like, still making excuses, are we? Still not acknowledging any of it. Still not apologizing. And trying to make OP lie about it so that Emma doesn't know about it. That is so infuriating. Yeah, like this comment says, princess, not the a-hole. You are only being honest with Emma about your experiences. It's not your fault that your upbringing was different from hers, and she deserved to know the truth when she asked. It's understandable that your mum feels sensitive about the past, but that doesn't mean that you should hide your reality. Sharing your story can help Emma appreciate the challenges that you faced and understand you better. Yeah, for sure, definitely a not the a-hole consensus here. Yeah, okay, that's enough for today. I feel like we definitely need to read something wholesome. That was a wild episode, and I hope you guys had a great time today. Give me all of your gold. Just a second. Smart Sword, call me a mercenary. Summoning Titanicles the Destroyer, 4.9 rating. Would you like some water? Oh, thank you. Oh, that's so cute. A sword that can summon a mercenary? Titanicles the Destroyer. Oh, this one is a Swords comic one. Yeah, no wonder it's so good. We've read so many different sword comic ones, and also this one too. The world is so messed up sometimes, and I don't know how to make it better for you. I'm not sure this is making the world any better. It's not making it any worse. Oh, that's so beautiful. And that's a Jim Benton one too. That's so unbelievably cute, and it's so true. It's definitely not making anything worse. Thank you for watching today's episode, everybody. I hope you had a great time. That was such a fun episode, but also like a sad episode. Lots of different emotions in today's episode. But yeah, I hope you had a good time, and definitely like and subscribe if you want to. Also, I'm sorry that there aren't any cats in the episode. As I'm sure you can see with the camera, it doesn't really show much because it's really zoomed in. But hey, I'm back on camera, so that's at least one thing. I'll put some recent photos of the cats on the screen to make everybody feel better, including myself. The cats are very, very beautiful, and I have lots of beautiful photos of them. I take photos of the cats like every single day. I can already see your comments. Where are the cats? Show me my kittens, you demon. But yeah, I'm back on camera, and I've got a whole bunch of fun ideas for episodes, guys. I am going to make some stuff that isn't Am I the A-hole? And yeah, just all around make some really fun episodes. The comment of the day today goes to the Hitsubasa. Good morning. Yo, my life is a freaking sitcom. I woke up, went out of my room, and a dresser mirror I had sitting on the floor behind my door that was sat there without problems for a year fell over onto my doorknob, blocking me out of my bedroom. One of my housemates had to get a ladder and climb through my window. I'm on the second floor, just to get my mirror out of the way, all in the span of a half hour. Oh my god, that's unbelievable. Yeah, that's like a sitcom episode. I'm sorry that you had to deal with that, but thank you for sharing it in the comments. That's so wild. The mirror fell onto your doorknob, blocking you out of your bedroom. That's such a thing that would happen in like a cartoon or something. And thank you for sharing that in the comments. And thank you for the support, everybody. I can't even put into words how good it feels to be filming myself again. I think I was kidding myself with the videos that didn't have my face in them. These are a lot better. And yeah, I'm already excited for the next episode. Make sure you look after yourself, and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!